The amount of negativity on social media is ridiculous. And a lot of people say social media has made us worse. Gary Vee says, no, social media has just exposed who we are on the inside. And I think that's more accurate. I think that a lot of people walk around with so much negativity, but they know that in the open world, negativity is looked down upon. Like, dude, what's wrong with you? Why are you so negative? So people hide all their negativity and they just, how you doing? Good, good. How are you? Good. Heard about that. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. They stay positive, 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 because that's what's expected in outside real face-to-face encounters. That's our culture. However, on social media, you get to hide behind these walls after walls over like layers of walls where you're anonymous. And that's where people can let down all their guards and feel free to express all their thoughts, all the negative ones. And the amount of negativity in so many people is just mind-blowing. Like, I can't find any video that has... Once you get more than 50 comments, you're going to find somebody saying something awful about the most beautiful video, the sweetest thing, a brother and sister getting along, a man and a woman falling in love, a puppy and a kitten cuddling. Like, you'll find somebody, not just somebody, you'll find 7 different people finding 7 different angles of how to tear this thing to shreds and say it's bad, it's garbage, it's horrible. The video person who put it up should be ashamed of themselves. It's amazing. It's just amazing to me. And another thing Gary Vee says is that someone who would go to some stranger's video just to tear it down, just to attack it, is somebody who has a lot of sadness in their life, who doesn't love themselves. Because someone who loves themselves, there is no time in the world to be negative, much less on a stranger's video. When you truly love your life and you love yourself, there's not enough time in any day to express all the goodness you feel and the love you feel for all the people. You can't even get to all the people you have lined up that you want to express goodness to. So when you're taking time out of your day to type the super nasty comment, make sure all the words are spelled right and the grammar is good so you come off looking really cool, like, it's indicative of a lot of sadness and self-rejection in your own life. But there's so many people doing this, and it's like, what percentage of people are actually doing it? Because whoever these people are, either it's a small percentage that are just leaving tons of comments all day long, or it's a larger percentage that are leaving a few here and a few there. I don't know. It's a study to be looked into, but what it tells me is opportunity. Like, so many people are feeling horrible about themselves, and you can turn it around with a compliment. And I have to admit, I enjoy a good debate, and I enjoy a good, I will jump on a comment to give, I will jump on a video to give an opinion on anything, and I'll have a positive or a negative opinion. And if somebody argues with me, I enjoy a good argument, I enjoy a good debate, because I love communication. In case you haven't figured out by now, I can talk about anything that interests me forever and ever. So I love analyzing and taking it apart and getting to the root cause. And if I think somebody's wrong, I like explaining to them why they're wrong. If there's any way they can prove me wrong, I like learning from them. This is all about deconstructing something. I feel like a scientist. It's fun for me. So I will have a good debate. If they come at me negatively, I've had enough experience. Oh, okay, now we're in a boxing ring. Now we're going to spar verbally. All right, I'll come back at you verbally, negatively. And I will always try to be a little bit more positive than them, because I don't want to get uglier than them. But I'll try to see where they're coming from, what's going on here. If they're just, disagreeing, then I'll say respectfully, I disagree with you also, and this is why. But if once they start getting really nasty, then I have been in enough scuffles, online scuffles. It makes it sound like, oh, he's a tough guy. He's typed a lot of insults that really put people in their place. But there is a level of emotion that the first time you get in some arguments online, it really hurts your feelings. And once you get in tons of them and you get over it, you kind of get a thicker skin. And so I try to figure out where they're coming from. If they genuinely seem like a very unkind or miserable person, then I'll just be like, look, you're coming at me and attacking me. You're obviously not a happy person. Whatever the issue is, I wish you the best. But I'll try to take a higher road while still rejecting their negativity. And that's all good and fun. Also, sparring for me, it's fun, but it's not the best. The best thing, which 3 mentions of Gary Vee in one video, but the best thing you can do, what he says, is go hit them with pure positivity. Go on their page, find something you like about them, and while they're insulting you and trying to make you feel bad, flip it and say, hey, I really like that hat you got. Where'd you get it from? Like, honestly, say it pure honestly so they know you're not messing with them, that you genuinely mean it. Find something on their page to compliment them. What happens is you will deflate all of their negativity, and you will completely flip them. Their next comment will be, oh man, thanks. I guess we got off on the wrong foot. I didn't mean what I said. I was just kind of blah, blah. They will immediately try some kind of way they might not fully apologize, but they will try some kind of way to cut down their own negativity that they were building up against you and try to make peace with you immediately. And why would they be so quick to make peace with you? Because they are desperate for positivity. They are desperate to feel better about themselves. And you just opened the door and said, look, I'm going to make you feel better about yourself. Unlike all these other people who just want to fight you, and it's just fight, like it's a big dog versus dog, cat versus cat, just a big animal, wild fight. You and I are going to be something different. I'm going to make you feel good. I'm going to put positivity in your life, and I'm going to be the person who makes you walk away actually feeling better about yourself, which is rare online. I mean, it's not rare that there's people who are nice to each other online. That happens quite a bit too, thank goodness. But someone who takes a full-fledged negative attack and turns it around and turns that person into someone grateful and kind and caring, that's ridiculously rare. It also takes a level of humility, especially when you see openings where you can attack them back and instead you swallow all those and you look for something positive. Incredible amount of humility. I can't say I've actually done it very often. And I more get to the point where I fight, and then I start to feel bad for them as I realize I start to see more and more of the negativity in their life. And then I'll back up and be like, hey, let's take a different approach if we're still talking. But I think we all have an opportunity. What this is all coming down to, 7.5 minutes in, is I think we all have an incredible opportunity to make people feel good. One kind word will knock out 500 negative insults. You put one kind word in someone's head and suddenly they don't want to insult anyone. They don't want to insult you. They don't want to fight anymore. And that's kind of like you just not only deflated their negativity, not only made them feel better, but you stopped them from maybe 500 other people they were going to argue with that week, or 500 nasty comments they were going to leave throughout the rest of the whatever, because you made them feel good about themselves, put them on a different trajectory. And that might be just enough positivity for them to start doing stuff that makes them happy. It actually, they say 2 planes taking off from one city, if one of them just moves 1 degree slightly in a different trajectory than the other one, then after they get all the way across a large country, they'll end up in completely different cities that could be 500 miles apart. Because one slight little adjustment in the way someone's moving over time just compounds and compounds and compounds. So your little positive comment to them, I really think, could change their week. And it's so easy to be good, to be nice to people. So I love doing this in person. I'm very extroverted, so it's easy, but I love complimenting people everywhere, at the drugstore, at the coffee shop, getting gas, anywhere and encounter a stranger, even if they're not the person ringing me up, the cashier, even just someone standing behind me in line or something, I love complimenting people. It's super fun. It makes them feel great. Almost never have a negative reaction to. I don't think I ever have had a negative reaction. But online, more so online. I mean, find someone arguing with someone else. Maybe if they're not attacking you, it's a little easier. Find someone arguing with someone else and just come in and be like, yo, you have such a nice hat. I really like your dress. I looked at your page and I saw that art you did, and that's really cool. And suddenly they don't even want to fight with the other person. They just want to talk to you now or just thank you. There's way more than just giving compliments at a gas station or putting nice comments to someone who's negative on the internet. There's something really huge here, and I want you guys to expound upon it in the comments. There's something really, really big here that the majority of people in what should be the most wonderful society on earth. I mean, we're living in a bubble that's very rare, and it might not be here forever, and it might not be here ever again. Hopefully it will sustain, but to live in the West in this day and age, we are richer, we are more blessed, we have more inventions to make our lives easy, we have more peace, we have less war, there are less people starving, there are less people in poverty. What we consider poverty is so much higher than what was considered poverty just 50 years ago. We don't know how much the tremendous blessing it is we live in. And yet, there are so many people walking around with just awful, dark thoughts. And the suicide rate is what it is. I don't know if it's gone extremely up or down in the last 100 years, but compared to how much better we're living, it should be non-existent, and yet it's there. Tons of people are on antidepressants. Well, we didn't have antidepressants available 50 years ago. You could say maybe they always needed them, but I don't think so. I think more people are walking around with incredible tanks full of negativity than we've ever seen. Maybe not than we've ever seen, but like just ridiculous. There's blessings all around them, and they're just covered. They're just blocked off from all their blessings. All they see are these big, giant tanks full of all their negative thoughts just swirling around. They don't like themselves. They don't like what they're doing. They don't like their family. They don't like how people treat them. They don't like whatever is going on in their life. They don't like what happened in the last week. They don't like that they missed out on a job. They don't like that some person who they have affection for doesn't have the same feelings back. Whatever it is, all these things swirling around. They wish they were born with a better nose, or they were taller, or they were shorter, or like just so much. And it's like, if you can be the person who's giving out the positivity, it's like a superpower. The opportunity is ridiculous. Your ability to make people feel happier, and it only splashes back on you. You'll become known as somebody that everybody wants to be around. You could literally monetize it. You could make a whole channel of just positivity, just making people happy. And that channel will blow up, and you will make internet money, ad revenue, whatever. Like people wanting you to be in commercials or sponsor things. Like, the opportunity is ridiculous, and there's no downside. There's really no downside. Maybe it takes a little bit of humility, a little bit of bravery. But other than that, it's like free money. It's like free goodness just sitting there waiting to take. Like, go out there and throw some compliments at people and make people feel better about themselves. So many people. You might be the one person who stopped somebody from taking those pills. Somebody who's been contemplating it for months. Your one word. And they're right on the edge. They're hanging on, white knuckling it, trying to find a reason to live another day. And your compliment gave them that reason. And now they have enough to get on till the next day. And then the next day they'll find something else to help them get up a little higher, and get up a little higher until they climb out of the hole. that they thought they'd never get out of. So much opportunity. It's an ocean of opportunity, and you're sitting there with a bucket. Scoop some up, scoop some of that positivity up, and what's a better analogy? You're sitting there with an ocean, with a bucket, standing in front of a desert full of dying plants that just want a touch of water. They just want to live. Let's say it's a lake, because they probably need fresh water. The analogy is kind of messing with me scientifically, but you know what I'm getting at. Jump in, give people positivity. Do it today. Just try it. Just try it one time. Random stranger, friend, family member, just give somebody some positivity. Just try it. Be a little brave. See what happens. And if you do it a lot, either way, put it in the comments.